Meet girl band phenomenon Girls Aloud. These 5 starlets were plucked from obscurity to become Britain's most successful girl group ever. But behind the smiles, the music and the glamour, a whole lot of trouble is brewing.
I've still always been portrayed as like the bitch in the band.
I haven't really got anyone to stay in for, so I might as well go out and get pissed.
Over the next 6 weeks, we'll go behind the scenes to show you what it's really like being at the heart of the British pop industry. The tabloid front pages.
Oh, God, you've seen that as well.
The Premiership footballers.
Ashley, I'm going to kill you.
The misunderstandings.
Do you know what? I can't even be asked giving them the time of day to comment on it, because I think it's pathetic.
And the falling out.
So who looks like the dickhead? Not you.
Welcome to the real world of Girls Aloud. From the moment Girls Aloud stormed the charts with their debut #1, they continue to prove their critics wrong. They've sold millions of singles and have 3 platinum-selling albums under their belts. It's February 2006, and in 4 weeks' time, Girls Aloud released their 12th single, A Whole Lot of History. Their last 11 have gone straight into the top 10, but times are changing and the management is worried.
It was a bit of a gamble releasing a 4th single, but we all felt really confident that A Whole Lot of History was a song that people would like to see them perform on TV, but you just can't tell.
Got to admit, A Whole Lot of History doesn't feel as if it's doing as well as some of the other singles have done in the past.
These 5 pop princesses are after a hit, and the only way they're going to make it into the top 10 is to enlist the help of the one group that give them more trouble than anyone else: the press.
You can't live with them, but you can't live without them, can you?
They are photographed, like in the evenings, like falling out of cabs or going off and doing their own thing. That's part of what they're about.
Girls Aloud need more than just for a song to be played on the radio. People buy into them, therefore they buy into the whole thing. It's the whole package. It's not just about what they're singing about.
No one understands that more than 22-year-old Cheryl, the most famous member of Girls Aloud, particularly since she's engaged to Arsenal and England footballer Ashley Cole.
Thank you.
It's Valentine's Day and Cheryl's taking Ashley for a romantic night out at a fashion show. But first she needs that all-important killer outfit.
Cool, be shopping with me little man. She's my shopping partner.
But no exclusive Bond Street and stylist for Cheryl. She's going shopping with her mum in Kent.
She loves her life at the minute, enjoying it. And I think she's always known she would get there since being a child.
Cheryl's seemingly idyllic life hasn't always been easy. She's the girl most in the tabloids, but not always for the right reasons.
Got myself into a bit of a pickle in a nightclub, like any normal teenage girl does.
In 2003, Cheryl was accused of assaulting a toilet attendant in a nightclub just 3 weeks after Girls Aloud were formed.
It happens all the time, but this was happening on front page national news, and that was such a hard time for me, like so frustrating. And I was dealing with all these things at the one time, the fame, the nasty side of fame, really I dealt with from the start. The really harsh side of it, not knowing if this was the beginning and the end of my career, you know, just not knowing anything, to be honest. It still hurts and I'm still bitter about it, to be honest. I really am bitter about it. I can still make us cry, I can still make us feel sick after all this time. But so that was hard. Then obviously I was allowed to stay in the band or whatever, and we've progressed, and we're like 3.5 years down the line now, but I've still got that stigma, and I've still always been portrayed as like the bitch in the band.
The experience made Cheryl very worried, and she turned to the only person she knew she could trust.
I know, my mum's my best friend. Oh, she's cute. Don't tell her I said that, because she plays on it. The only people that you can definitely trust throughout your whole life, 100%, I think. Which is quite sad, really.
Like £921.13, thank you.
That's not a bad day shopping, is it?
A few £100 later, and Cheryl goes home to prepare for her night out. Just her, Ashley, and a few dozen paparazzi. But not both members of this showbiz couple are thrilled about the A-list night out.
Me and Ashley are going to the Julian McDonald fashion show because it is London Fashion Week this week. I'm excited, are you? Not really. I've never been to one of these before and I don't know what it's like, so I'm excited and I like his things and I like him because I watch him on Project Catwalk. So I'm hoping Elizabeth Hurley may put in an appearance this evening. I'm going to be celeb spotting. I'm excited. It was on the news before we left the house, so it must be going to be a big thing, eh? It was on the news, there was already a few people there, so I don't know why they weren't little old me and you. We'll probably be sitting in the back row, but never mind.
Cheryl and Ashley have been engaged for almost a year, and despite the constant press intrusion, they're planning the wedding of the year this summer.
First met her, I was playing tennis with a few of my mates where I live, because obviously she lived in the same complex as well with the other girls, so we spoke for a bit and I asked her for a number, she said no. And then she gave me the number and that was it, really, that was history.
Would you be me Valentine?
Yeah, I ain't got no choice. We get married in 4 months.
I know, and then the Valentine's presents go up and up and up and up.
It may be a night off, but Cheryl knows that she has to work the cameras to help the single.
I'm in a girl band called Girls Aloud, and currently we are promoting in Europe a bit. Hello, Fashion TV. Hope you're having a nice time and you enjoy the show. Starstruck, but a bit like, oh my god, there's Paris Hilton. She does that same face. We should have had Chantel here fighting our corner. I'm going to go and meet the man himself. I'm a bit nervous. Get it off then. It's off you. Ashley, I'm going to kill you. It's off your jumper. Oh my god, I've got fluff all over us. I'm embarrassed. I feel nervous, you know. I feel a bit like a celebrity star. Hello.
Hi, Sharon.
I'm Sharon. Lovely to meet you. Lovely to see you.
Do you enjoy it?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
How are you doing? Do you enjoy my show?
They've been mobbed.
Fantastic.
Have they?
Very good, yeah.
Not as mobbed as me. Not as mobbed as me.
Not at all.
Yes, God.
How are we, Ash?
Thank you very much.
Now I'm going to go for my Valentine meal. Just me and me little Valentine. And I can't wait, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm starving.
Cheryl's keen to slip away for a romantic dinner, but the paparazzi have other ideas. Girls Aloud tour manager and minder, Drew, is well aware of the press interest in his famous passengers.
We've got 2 Paps behind us, one on a motorbike and one in a car. They've been with us since we left the fashion show, so it's pretty obvious they're paparazzi. They're hungry for the picture, and obviously they want a picture of Cheryl and Ashley on Valentine's night out, which they're probably going to get, unfortunately.
We've been followed before. Remember, Drew, that time? And they take red lights and everything. It's ridiculous, but I don't.
Get used to it.
You just think, do you know what? What's the point? I wish I had brought my camera to take a picture of them, because it's good in years to come to say to the kids, look what they used to do to Mum and Dad. They were once interested.
It's 11:30, hours after the press was spotted trailing the car. Drew's had enough and finally tries to shake him off.
You got your picture?
Yeah, we'll leave them there.
You know, you got it on the way. You don't need it on the way out. They're only going to be a little bit fatter.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, they would have followed us all the way back to Cheryl's and Ashley, and we would have had to got the security guards at the gate to stop them and not let them in, and that happens frequently.
Coming up, the girls let their hair down with some sun, sea and suntan lotion.
Girls!
But someone's lurking in the bushes.
And then I looked and I just seen him up there.
With 4 weeks to go before their new single is released, it's an important point in the band's career.
I know they were born in the TV show, but what happened after that was purely what we made of it. Interest could wane quite quickly. People like them because they're around and people are interested in them on a day-to-day basis.
For the single to make the top 10, publicity is vital and they have to get as much attention as possible.
press is an absolute gift, but we've got to still make people believe that you know, that they're coming on with each single that we do, that they're kind of moving on much further.
But there are some perks to the job. The girls escaped dreary England on a whirlwind promotion tour of Ibiza.
Ladies, welcome to Ibiza. How are you feeling?
Thanks.
Excellent, excellent. So what are you?
Hot when it's best.
And it's a chance to top up their tans. With the promotion work done, the girls can spend the evening letting their hair down properly for the first time in 2 months.
I'm going to be fucked if I have this, so what? I'm just not going to bed tonight. Ready? Ready. Tres!
How long to take the picture?
No, I keep doing it.
Thank you very much. Bye, thank you.
Not a paparazzi in sight, and the girls are safe in the knowledge they've got the next morning to recover from the night before.
Wait, look at me, I'm still rambling on in Spanish. Muy bueno.
Or Italian Valley.
No, that was Spanish. Muy bueno means very good.
Muy bien.
Adios!
After a night on the tiles, the girls relax by the pool in their exclusive villa, well away from prying eyes. But it's not long before they're joined by a few familiar faces.
Girls, run for cover. Paparazzi in the bushes.
When Nicola said it, I thought, no, she's winding me up. She knows that I'll be devastated. And then I looked and I just seen him up there. Stood there brazen, wasn't he? Just staring, he wasn't even hiding very well.
The next thing you know about it is when it's in the paper and you're looking at yourself, and it's stalkerish. It's disgusting, you know. It's the homing on your private parts and stuff. It's just disgusting. If you're on a public beach, then there's nothing you can do about it. But this is a private villa, and you still can't have any peace.
Para mí, ¿qué mi ahora? So, ¿qué tiene para mí ahora would mean, what do you have for me now?
But the snooping snappers aren't going to stop these girls having fun.
Bruised like a peach.
I can't breathe.
Girls Aloud manager Hilary Shaw understands the pressures of constantly being in the public eye.
I think what happens is whenever there is a really successful artist, whether it be Girls Aloud or a solo artist or another group, it always invites some kind of trouble. And trouble could even mean just a paparazzi man up a tree, which was quite hysterical. But when it's on you, it's very much a violation of your privacy, you know, because there are times you just want to be who you are and not be a member of Girls Aloud.
3 days later, a much browner girl band fly back to the UK to be confronted by a cheeky headline.
Don't show her that! Oh, God. You've seen that as well.
At least there's no cellulite on it.
Yeah, because I'm bent over.
I think it's a compliment if your bum makes the front page.
And have you actually read the story? Yes. It says about we all sleep together or something. True? No! Is it? They always make it sound more than what it is anyway, especially for a paper like that, because it's just pervy, isn't it? Yeah, when Girls Aloud sleep together.
Sarah's bottom obviously is now going to be famous. Obviously we could probably get a lot of endorsements, especially for thongs now.
I'm not going to read it, it's a load of shit.
The girls' marketing director is on the case immediately.
The girls are never not in the papers, and there was once upon a time a day when you were really, really grateful of that, but now it's every single day. You know, they are photographed, like, in the evenings, like, falling out of cabs or going off and doing their own thing. That's part of what they're about. Does it help sell records? It helps create an awareness.
I suppose we are quite a tabloid kind of band, aren't we? Like, they put things in there I just wouldn't ever think would be interesting to anybody. Always amazes me. You know, like, really not important things, like if something small happens at a gig, like somebody goes on stage, I don't know, and the mic breaks or something, that would be in the paper. It's like, I'm sure nobody's interested in that. But I don't know, because I can never see it from an outside perspective. There is one paparazzi man that just loves to follow me around where I live, so if I'm leaving, like, Pizza Express or, you know, wherever it is, he's just always there. It just makes me look like all I ever do is go and eat out. I must just check every restaurant to see which one I'm in.
Getting out of a car is an art that you need to really master if you're going to be in a girl band.
they should give you lessons, because they just, like, you don't understand. The cameras be right down on the path where the, you know, if you're getting into a car, so it's impossible, like, unless you're like this, and then you just look silly. But you would rather be like that than see your knickers everywhere the next day. Remember the first knicker shot that I got, getting out of a car, somebody taking pictures of me knickers. I was like, and it shows you in the picture, I'm like, like, I can't believe someone's on the floor doing it. And then the next day, seeing your knickers in the paper, I was like, oh my God. Just totally heartbroken. I thought my world was shattered. And then when you have it like about 100 times, then you kind of learn to get over it.
One thing that definitely helps record sales is the image of the band. It's the photo shoot for the next single cover, and huge amounts of time and effort is invested in their look. Image is crucial to a band like Girls Aloud, and their manager Hilary Shaw knows that more than anyone.
Image is equally as important as the music, and there's a lot of thought process that goes into it between the marketing department at the label, to TV, to stylists, to makeup, to hair. The whole thing has to come together. The music they're in, pop music, lends itself to styling, image, etc.
It takes an army of technicians, 4 hours of preparation, hundreds of shots, dozens of outfits for each of the girls, and constant retouches and readjustments. All for that one important single cover. A photograph only does half the job. Getting the girls on TV is the deciding factor, and that's all down to Rachel Cook, TV promotions executive at the record label.
Kimberly, darling, would you like to rise? Ready? What I do with the girls is that we know what single we're going to release, and it's my job to get them on TV. It's as simple as that, really. Girls Aloud need more than just for a song to be played on the radio. People buy into them, therefore they buy into the whole thing. It's the whole package. It's not just about what they're singing about. Every kid that loves Girls Aloud, every teenager that loves Girls Aloud, every gay man that loves Girls Aloud will always buy their albums. And there's a lot more what is now called pop music, which is James Blunt and Katie Melua and Jamie Cullum, and it's all great music, but at the same time, it's not pop as we know it.
Girls Aloud promotional schedule is even more intense because there are worrying signs within the industry.
Last year the girls were nominated for Best Pop at the Brits, and we went along and we always kind of knew that McFly were going to get it, but it was just an absolute honour to be nominated, and everything about them in this last 6 months I think has been better. And I hadn't really heard whether or not we were going to be nominated for Best Pop, presumed that we were, and then we found out that we weren't in the final category, and we were just in absolute disbelief. I mean, shocked disbelief.
CD UK is a crucial TV show for Girls Aloud, and this is their first live performance of the new single.
I don't know what to do, so tell me, baby.
It's the first time we're going to perform a lot of history, and normally a lot of our fans get into the studio in CD UK, so we'll be able to get an idea of what they think of it.
Outside the studios, Fans Aloud are out in force.
Girls Aloud. Fantastic music, nobody else like them.
Cheryl all the way.
Kimberly Walsh.
You can't mistake my biology.
We think that they're very beautiful and we really like them.
We like their music.
And their music.
We like their music. Who's these from?
A guy called Matt, who's like their biggest fan, who's outside.
And there's no bigger fan than Matt.
I've been a fan of the girls from Pop Stars Arrivals. I started following him 3 years ago.
He's a big fan. I've seen him there for other people as well.
Grow up.
Yeah, we have.
I've met them so many times, and it's a pleasure meeting them all the time.
We have probably about 10 or 15 fans kind of come everywhere and help being since day one.
Hi, we're Girls Aloud, and you're watching CD UK Hot Shots. I'm talking about a whole lot of history.
6 hours of preparation for a 3-minute performance, and the fans seem to like the new single. The ever-present paparazzi are on hand to remind the band how important the press are.
They are talented, but they're also managed, and they need the whole kind of shebang that goes with it, the TV cameras. They have to be in the public eye. Without that, you know, the shelf life of a pop band can be quite short. It just takes one story, and I think that ties back to the paparazzi side. If we can pick up one of the girls in a compromising position, but that's what sells. You just need one small item like that and they'll be back to the front page.
But with 1 week to go, have the girls done enough to ensure that they don't end up as a whole lot of history themselves? Next week, with everything riding on the new single release, nerves are getting to the girls.
I'm really scared. I don't know why. Fried bigger fish than this.
The single's reception is a bitter disappointment to one member.
Take it too personally. When you think it's a good song, you think it should be maybe top 3 or something, but...
And tensions are running high.
Oh, don't you fucking stop.
Honestly, look how much makeup I've got on. Hardly anything.
You look gorgeous.
Oh, you look gorgeous.
No, it's not good.
Nicola,